Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to talk about some of the different kinds of toe pads that there are on the market, because it can be a bit of a jungle to go through to find the toe pads most suitable for you. Okay, let's start. I think I'm gonna go from like the thinnest to the thickest of toe pads. And the thinnest of course is wearing nothing. However, that could be a bit more painful. I guess it's up to you what you feel like. For example, I have a teacher. She went to school during, I would say 70s something, and they wasn't allowed to have any toe pads. So she is like, okay, I don't mind, I don't care, because I'm used to it. It's how I learned. So I guess, but I don't know how many different types of toe pads they had back then, but I guess they had some. But, well, moving on. And the next thing to wearing nothing, but still something, is having a paper towel wrapped around your toes. So it's still pretty like nothing, but it's still something. So I guess you basically just wrap it somehow around your toes. I never tried, probably never will. So, and I also guess it's depending on the type of paper towel. You need something more sturdy, but still I think they can maybe rubbing your feet anyway. So, well, I'm gonna leave this and move on to the more traditional toe pads we have today. First I have some Lambswool, and this is basically you tear off how much you need from this and you wrap your toes around it. And the thing also with Lambswool is that in comparison using like cotton or something that you can use for like removing makeup, the thing with Lambswool is that it doesn't absorb any sweat because it's a bit greasy, if you get what I mean, due to the wool. It's a bit greasy from the beginning. I used to wear not Lambswool, but like more of a greasy cotton, as I say. It wasn't washed cotton, so it was a bit greasy, so it didn't absorb moist. And the thing from my experience I can say is that it's a good option. However, since the fibers of this, you can basically tear them quite much apart. They could tear in your shoe, and then you could end up with nothing on certain spots, since when you're wearing with the friction in the shoes and things. So they could like tear apart, and this is like one time only use also. So once you worn it, you toss and you take a new one for next. So in the long run, even though this is quite cheaper than other toe pads, I don't know how many containers of this will actually end up with the same price amount as a pair of regular or normal or traditional whatever toe pads. But as you say, you have to sort of mold it to your feet and customize, so you have to really know what you're doing to be able to get the way, because it won't be the same every time. Anyway, moving on. Another type of Lambswool is actually these, and they're now we can see we have moved over to, it actually looks like a more traditional toe pad. What I can say about this, it basically looks like some linen that you have in a jacket for the winter. So it's quite fluffy on the inside, and on the outside it's a bit more stiff, I would say, or I would say I wouldn't rather have this side on the inside, because it will probably give you blisters. But on the inside it's really soft and fluffy. However, it's a bit bulky, I would say. So that's depending. I was actually starting out in one of these, and I can't really say if I liked it or not, because it was such a long time ago. But I don't remember being so much pain, so maybe it was a good thing. Maybe I should try it again or something, I don't know. but yeah, it's a bit more bulky, so it could feel like you're having a bit too much around your toes, but I still think that you could actually feel the floor, because it's not that, it doesn't take away the feeling for where the floor are. It's not that type of bulky, so it's still and it's breathable also, so it will transport away moist from your toes, so you won't feel so, well, yucky. So that's those. Moving over to the sort of gel toe pads. There are a huge variety of gel toe pads on the market at the moment, and I think the most common ones too, because the gel does help with a bit of pain relief, because it's much more of a squishy material, and with the thinner ones you can really doesn't feel bulky around your feet and everything like that. So the first type is these, and they are basically covered in a fabric and the gel is inside. So it's not that much of a gel, but you can still feel it. Maybe if I squish it, I feel it's having a bit of a resistance and sort of like bouncing back, if you get what I mean. And it's like they have the same amount of gel all around it. So, because there are some types that only have gel on the top or the bottom, or maybe only on the toes. I actually had ones quite a while ago. The gel was sort of moving around in the toe pad, which meant that when you were on point, and for me I want underneath my toes, especially my big toe, because I have uneven length on my toe, on my toes. Then the gel was pressed away, so I basically had nothing, and I would say that wasn't such a good toe pad. I think I'd only used them like once or twice, realizing, okay, this is not working. So I do prefer these where the gel actually do stay in place and it's all over instead of moving around. And also, since it has a bit of a fabric around, it feels, I wouldn't say breathable all the way through, since the gel is on the way, and gel is sort of plastic and plastic doesn't breathe. But it does absorb some of your sweat, so you have to clean these to keep them fresh. Otherwise they will get stinky and quite nasty. So, yes. Moving over to another type of gel toe pad, and this is this one, and this one you can actually see the gel on the outside, or you can actually choose which side this will be, outside or inside on this. On the inside it looks like a little sock, so it's what you prefer to how to wear them. I use this mostly, and I do prefer having them with the gel on the outside and more the sock on the inside, because then you also, the sock helps absorbing your sweat, and otherwise I feel like it could get a bit sticky or something. Well, it feels more comfortable or something, well, whatever, with this. And this one also, that the gel is in place. However, you have to take a bit care of these, otherwise the gel can dry out, so you have to put baby powder on them. And this one inside is washable, so you can actually freshen them up, otherwise they will get nasty. So that's another type of gel toe pad. And the last type of gel toe pads are this one, which is pure gel. It doesn't absorb anything, so and they are also quite thick, because with these, thicker than these ones, because I think these are the most thin of the gel ones, but these are still thin, you can still feel the floor and that kind of things. But with these, I feel, my personal is that I don't feel the floor. No, so these are quite thick, and since there are no fabric on them, as I said, they will not absorb any type of sweat or moist. So it could be a bit warm around your feet, because with all the sweat. So, well, but they're easy to clean. It's basically you rinse them off and maybe with a bit of soap, and then they're new to go. So in that way it's quite a good one, but otherwise, as I said, it's what I think is they feel bulky. Compared to these ones, a bit more flexible. These ones are quite stiff and just in place. So those are these, and they are the thickest one. There are also types of accessories you can use to in complement of your toe pads, or basically if you don't want this type of toe pad, you can have other things but still have something in your shoe. From basically having nothing, you can still have something. One thing I really like to use is these little gel cushions, because as I mentioned, I have uneven length in my toes. My big toe is the longest, so I put this in the tip of my shoe to release a bit of pressure. So this, you can only wear these in the tip of the shoe, but still, if you don't feel like you need something around your foot, but you basically need underneath your toes. So that's a suggestion. However, you could also have something like this from Gainemünden, are these, to give a bit more comfy feeling. However, you know, it's just not supposed to be comfortable in your pointe shoes, so but we do the best to make it a bit more. So that's some kind of accessories you can have. Also, to prevent bunions, toe spacers are a big hit. These you put in between your big toe and your second toe, and it will prevent from your big toe going like this if you have a big space in between them, of course. If you don't, then it's no need. But because if the big toe is going this, it's going to create a bunion here, and that could be pretty hurtful. So this just basically helps. So I can't really show with my fingers to help prevent the big toe from going in like this. It's just keeping it more in a straight line and not creating a bunion. And there are also a smaller size you can use in between, like second or third, or well, moving on your feet, wherever you feel like you need a bit of a spacer. As I mentioned, you can also sort of build your own toe pad, and for example is that Gainemünden also have this little fitting kit. Contains some of these, looks quite similar to those ones, which is the instant wings, and this is a box liner. And also in this one you get the other little bits and pieces you can put in your shoes to basically see where you feel like, okay, here I need a bit of a support or something. So it's basically you build your own toe pad. So it comes with some little different pieces to help you in your needs. And the final thing, and as I just and quite most common one, I would say, toe tape. Toe tape could be such a lifesaver. I basically use toe tape around my big toe. Finish my largest toe, I release the pressure, or if I need it maybe on the joint also, because I have some issues there sometimes, depending what shoes I'm in. But also if you're realizing, okay, I'm getting a blister on this spot on my foot like all the time, putting a bit of a toe tape or tape on that spot, it will prevent you from getting blisters. This is a bit more foamy tape, so it's a bit thicker, but you can also use this more of it's basically a medical tape, and it's quite thin, but it's still helping to prevent the friction that will cause blisters. So that's some different kind of toe pads you could choose from on your way to finding the one that suits you. Because remember that everything when it comes to pointe is individual. I think the type of shoe and the type of toe pad is purely what you need, so you should find the one that really suits you and don't use something just because everyone else is using it. So find the ones that actually works for you. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe. I post new videos here on Fridays. And I wish you all a pleasant day.